Alright, Gundam fans, we got some more Converges in. Today we're gonna do some Doms. I actually have two Doms that I'll bring out later. But Bandai and Fusion Works have made a lot of different ones, so I'm trying to figure out which castings are unique. Anyways, we're gonna start with number 199 in the overall lineup. This is from the collection Pound 13, and it says 2018 on the box there. Sorry about the focus. As usual, I use Gundam Fandom to kind of learn about these things. So, it's saying here it's a standard mass production ground combat mobile suit. I found here in the stats quite interesting. It speed-wise, it goes 90 kilometers per hour running, and then it can actually hover speed like 380 kilometers per hour, which is really fast. Well, this is a fictional world, of course. Alright, so looking at the box here of Pound 13, we have some other, these are the other figures from that particular wave. I think I have a few of those maybe. Okay, and then, oh, well, yeah, you got the stats there as well. It looks brand new. So, that gum is 5 years old. I always find the gum pretty funny to look at. Old gum. Get some scissors. Typical fashion is, bagged, but they separate the pieces so they don't scratch each other's paint off. So I think that's pretty smart. And I guess in the Pound 13 wave, we don't have those silly clear foot bases. We have a normal peg base, so I'm pretty happy about that. Okay, well, it's pretty much assembled except for the hand and the bazooka are one piece, and you just gotta pop that on. It's on a round peg, so you can rotate the thing. And then you have a sword, which is on in a sheath of some sort. I don't know why the camera can't. There we go. It's interesting. The sword actually is angled. Yeah, interesting. It's got like an angled tip to it. Standard stuff. Nothing too spectacular on the sword there. This bazooka, the hand detail's pretty nice. And then there's actually a lot of lines on the bazooka itself, panel lines and such. Very tiny shallowness for the front end. This is all blanked off, of course. Can't be molded reliably. But what's nice is they put a little red in here for the optic on that side, but not the back side. Alright, so, but you can see there's molding pretty much on every side of this thing. And it's actually relatively straight. Alright, main figure wise. So it is a purple, and it's all matte finish actually. The black is matte as well. And it's nice that there's some yellow paint in here, so I don't have to add that. And then, yeah, tiny little dots. It's very easy to add some black paint into those. And then, unfortunately, the eye, though, is just a printed pink metallic circle. It's not even... I wouldn't even say that's raised. I don't feel anything, so I think it's literally just printed on a smooth surface. But the red cowling around that mono eye is pretty nice. Look how it separates there. And then the arms here, the paint might be a little stuck, but yes, it's a round peg, so you can rotate those around. Right. This hand is totally molded into the arm. You're not going to get any articulation there. The legs never seem to articulate. But you know what? It's glued. What? I was thinking for a moment I might have to pull that out, but I think they're glued in from the factory. So the backpack has two little thrusters. There's 3 thrusters under the skirt. And then that's the peg hole for the sword, I believe. Some more little panel details and such. Let's pop this in here. So I have a suspicion it's actually directional. See, it's flat on the top and a U on the bottom. So I think it's supposed to go in like this, at this angle. Okay. Yeah, there's the peg hole for the stand. There's some thrusters down in there as well, because it's supposed to hover for high-speed cruising, I guess. Yeah, standard stuff. I was reading more on that fandom, and so the head is integrated into the chest because it's kind of like a tank. It deflects bullets better. That's the theory. If there's a big gap here, a bullet or a cannon fire might pop the thing's head off. So I think it's a cool design, all these DOMs. That's why I got these two. Very tight fit there. which is good. And you'll notice the bazooka clears the shoulder quite nicely. So let's get that. There we go, loosen that. So with that loose now, I can go up. There we go, very cool. Yeah, pop that on the stand. I'll put them on the spinner later. Let me reset. Alright, so this next one is a bit confusing. Let's look at the package first. So this is number 241 in the series, and this is Mobile Suit 09R-2, the Rick Dom Zwei. That's where it starts to get confusing. This is from 2020 and is from Wave Pound 20. There's some stats there, right? Right. So now what makes this Dom different is, whereas the other one was a ground-based unit, this was designed specifically for space flight. So it's that's what it is. Okay, let's open this. 2020. Gundam's only 3 years old. I'm gonna go for it. Yeah. Yeah, she's pretty good. Alright, well, let's look at the confusing bit. So if you look at these two fandoms, this one says Zwei, but it says prototype. And it looks really not much like the box or the robot itself. It has these really long protuberances there and really chunky legs with these things here. So I think this is actually a molding of the Rick Dom 2, because this image here and all the images associated at the bottom pretty much look like the box art in the figure. So it's up to you to decide, but yeah, I don't think it's this one. It's not a prototype suit, right? So yeah, I'm gonna close that out. So here's an image from this regular Dom 2 page. We're gonna go with that. Okay, so back to the figure. Booster packs. Same stand. Alright, let's start with the figure this time. So this one has a small green eye, and this one I can feel the bump. So it's different. This looks narrower than the last one. It also looks like a much more muted red. Again, this is all matte finish. There's no glossiness on this paint. I'm noticing, well, let's get those loose. Okay. Different type of shoulder armor. A little thruster or something maybe in there, but this is totally open. Should be red according to that image. It's like a rounded elbow. I think this hand probably rotates. Yep. So that hand, although it's a fist, it does at least articulate a little bit. And this one just has an open slot for the weapon. And you could probably swap out other robot weapons in there. So this one has like 2 round circles. I don't know what those things are. Please leave a comment. Are they optics or something, or a gun? And then some thrusters maybe in the shoulder. And this is also a purple and dark gray and a lighter gray. Metallic, gun metallic paint on the hands. So now this head actually isn't as integrated as the last Dom. You can actually see some air. You can see my fingers back there, right? And what's cool is there's some little hoses here. Let's see if I can take this head off. Yeah, there we go. Nice that the peg is round, so you can get a little bit of rotation. But I like how they have these hoses down in there. Unfortunately, the shoulder, whatever you would call those, are limited articulation. But see, even a few degrees is better than just straight on all the time. So that's good. The bottom of the feet, much more detail than the last one. And it's interesting that the thrusters here in the skirt are angled outwards. Again, it's for space flight, so yeah, I guess maneuverability, vector thrust. 3 more, yeah, engines on the skirt, some big venting there, or maybe those are thrusters. Some greebly panel details and the like there. 2 slots here. So, oh, I think the boosters go there. And then 2 more slots here. Some sort of big circular thing. Maybe this is like a reactor or something. It looks like it was a separate piece before, but it's probably glued in place now. So this is much better, I think. Much more detailed than the last one. Different by design. So one would have to assume these little booster tanks, fuel tanks or whatnot, go into these. They are shaped the same way. It's not a straight square. It's like a cut off square. Oh, that slid in nicely actually. Now these little parts, I find that they do fall out later on. You might want to glue them in place unless you intend to, paint it up first. And then this backpack kind of thing has 2 thrusters on it. This one, I don't know which side goes up and down. Oh, I see. There's a round cutoff, probably to go around this round thing on the back. Yeah, alright, so it goes that way. So the thrusters are in the down position, which I guess makes sense. Now, yeah, I thought that, oh, yep, alright. So on this backpack, there's this peg here, and so kind of a lame beam saber. It's not even, well, I'm looking at that image though over there, and it's not activated. So maybe when it's off, it's just like a dark color. And then when they activate, they maybe turn yellow or something, or change color as they get hot. Anyways, pretty good, snug fit. Not much articulation because the shoulder is getting in the way, of course. Bazooka-wise, this is a gunmetallic bazooka. Man, this is really weak. This is such a shallow opening. I mean, they could have. Maybe they just couldn't make it deeper because maybe it pulled out of the mold upwards or down, and not this way. This is PVC, I think, so it may have just flexed around something in the mold. Little nice venting there, some sort of cool little hose running there, and then yeah, nothing on the back at all, no recess. Well, anyways, I guess it's alright. Could have been better, but alright. So a really long handle, and then again it rests nicely on the shoulder, so that's cool. You put it on the stand. And then yeah, down, up, down. Let me get these things spinning. Alright, I like to label my robots because I can't keep track of all this stuff. So these I picked up, this next one I picked up loose, and I believe it's Mobile Suit 09, just called the Dom, and it's number 32 in the overall Converge lineup. So it's quite different though from this Dom, which is, just the same code number. So yeah, it's weird. Please leave a comment if you think I'm wrong on this one. I looked at Gundam Dom's website, and that's how I've deciphered, but I could be mistaken. This other one I picked up loose, and this one is definitely probably the Rick Dom number 62 in the Converge lineup, and it's called an MS09R. That's the mobile suit number. And I touched it up, paint, details, and all that stuff. This is just poster board putty here. You can buy these acrylic discs off AliExpress pretty cheap. Okay. So, yeah, these 2 DOMs, you know what, let's pause this thing. Even though they're both called DOMs, they're significantly different from each other. Whereas this one looks like the image where the head is blended into the shoulders. This one is clearly floating up. But maybe it's because this is from number 32, very early in the lineup of Converge, and this is number 199, so molding advancements or something. Maybe they're taking a nap this day. I don't know, it's hard to say because the arms are so detailed. They're quite different. Quite different indeed. Okay, well, I might be mistaken on the identity of this one, but I like it because it's totally mold-wise different from that one. Alright, so these 2, I guess would just be different because this is called the Zwei again, although it doesn't really match. The shoulders are definitely different. They got the thruster looking things up there. This just has a normal looking shoulder like that last one. And so if you're curious about these 2, right, these are actually very similar looking. The shoulders, the arms, the front, almost look identical. I added some yellow paint, I think, into that one. So maybe they made one mold of this MS09R Rick Dom, but then they labeled a different color variation. It's just the regular Dom. It's possible that's what happened. Yeah, I think that's what happened, because these backpacks are identical mold-wise. The legs are definitely different, though. You know, this one's got a much more flared thing going on. And then you'll notice the beam sabers on these are just rounded like a, which I think makes sense. So it's quite interesting that they would cut off the end of this one. Alright, so now looking at the skirts here. Yeah, that's interesting too. Alright, so these two are meant, well, this one's for space flight. I suspect this one is, I don't know. But if you look at these two DOMs again, look how small the flares are here, which they're much wider on this wider one. And then, yeah, it's got the booster tanks. Yeah, so obviously I could be wrong, but I have a suspicion again. They felt maybe bad for just putting this out early in the lineup, and they corrected the problems and made a more accurate model here with the number 199 Converge figure. Alright, well, that's enough for comparing those two. Let's just let these guys spin here. As usual, a lot of molded details on these guys. A little paint, so some extra detailing obviously helps out. This one I added like a jewel eye, you know, jewelry bead, that kind of stuff. But really, the paint helps. But it takes time, so I don't really have time to detail too many of these anymore. Too busy making these videos. So if you like these Converges, and if you want to learn about Gundams like me, just stay tuned because I have many more to come. Alright, thanks for watching today. Bye.